occupation as business as usual translates into supporting and providing aid and assistance to the unlawful presence of Israel in the occupied Palestinian territory. The same that the International Court of Justice in July last year has ordered to end totally and unconditionally, and that the General Assembly has ordered this to happen by September this year. I will have the opportunity to elaborate on the technicalities and legal implications in our further sessions today. But let's be clear why I argue that it's time to cut ties with Israel as a whole. And cutting ties only with the components of it in the occupied Palestinian territory would be addressing the symptoms once again. This is in line with international law, especially at the moment that Israel is accused of committing war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide in front of the two highest international tribunals that we have, the ICC and the ICJ. As I argue in my last report to the Human Rights Council, the Israeli economy is structured to sustain the occupation and has now turned genocidal. It is impossible to disentangle Israel's state's policy and economy from its long-standing policies and economy of occupation. It has been inseparable for decades. We just pretended not to want to see. The longer states and others stay engaged, the more this illegality at its heart is legitimized, and the complicity continues and grows. Now that the economy has turned genocidal, there is no good Israel and bad Israel. We need to face it. So I ask you to consider this moment as if we were sitting here in the 1990s, discussing the case of apartheid South Africa. Would you have proposed selective sanctions on South Africa for its conduct in the individual Bantustans? Or would you have recognized the state's criminal system as a whole? And here, what Israel is doing compared to what South Africa has done during the apartheid regime is worse. The comparison is a legal and factual assessment supported by international legal proceedings many in the rooms are part of. This is what concrete measures mean. Negotiating with Israel on how to manage what remains of Gaza and the West Bank, being in Brussels or in New York, is an utter dishonor to international law. And let me conclude. Let me conclude with a word to the Palestinians and those from all corners of the world standing by them. Sorry. Okay, I start again. With age, I'm becoming emotional. And to the Palestinians and those from all corners of the world standing by them, often at great cost and sacrifice, I say, whatever happens, Palestine will have written this tumultuous chapter, not as a footnote in the chronicles of would-be conquerors, but as the newest verse in a centuries-long saga of peoples who have risen against injustice, against colonialism, and today more than ever, against neoliberal tyranny. Thank you so much.